Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Livey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today I want to talk about giving up. Should you give up? When should you give up? How should you give up? Let's talk about giving up. So when you're manifesting something and it's been a little bit and you are frustrated, you're having an experience of frustration with not seeing results in your 3D reality. This can especially be true for people who've had a lot of successful manifestations because they know that this works. They know that manifesting works, and they know that it should be working for this next manifestation that they're working on, and it gets really frustrating. But it also can be frustrating for someone who's working on their first big manifestation and they're not seeing results in a timely way. So I have a couple of things. I've done an episode about this before, but I just want to remind you, if you still want your desire, my general advice is just to not give up yet. Generally speaking, if you still want it, you quiet your mind, you go into your imagination, and you just ask yourself the question, do I still want whatever it is you're manifesting, your specific person, this lump sum of money, this dream job, whatever it is. Do I still want it? And if you do still want it, then my general advice is to not give up. However, you can get into a loop of frustration because, like I said, either you know that it works and you're just doing all the things and you're trying to be kind of micromanaging, or you're just trying to do all the things. And it's frustrating. And you're just really frustrated and you want the frustration to end. It may be a good time to consider giving up temporarily. And so I want you to hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you say, never, ever, ever, I'm totally done with this. It's not meant to be, or whatever version that you would say to yourself. Use your language that you would use. I'm not saying that, but you might consider temporarily just taking a break. Just giving up for a minute and just being like, you know what, I'm not going to fuss with this anymore. I'm not going to worry about it. I would rather not have my manifestation than to feel this way all the time, right? So it's kind of a question of, is your manifestation making your life, or rather the manifesting process, in the meantime, before you've gotten your manifestation, is it making your life just kind of miserable or just not enjoyable? Then it might be time to take a break. So the manifesting process should be pretty easy. It should be pretty seamless. It should be something that you enjoy. Are there times that I've been frustrated? Sure. That I really, really wanted something and I was really trying to figure out how to manifest it and I've gotten frustrated? Yeah. When I've gotten to those points in my manifesting journey, I've not necessarily manifested from that place. I'm not saying you can't. You definitely can manifest from any place depending on what your beliefs are. But I have just found that when I have gotten to that place and I've just been like, you know what? I don't care. I'm good. I'm going to find a way to be good. I am good in this moment without this manifestation. And very often when I've gotten to that point, that's when my manifestation comes. And you might be saying, well, Lovey, that sounds like you're saying if you don't want it, it will come. And there is sort of this paradox that happens in manifesting sometimes where that is the case, where when you stop wanting it and you wanted it so bad, then it finally comes. That does happen sometimes. It's no big deal. Because you're learning, it's this learning process along the way. But oftentimes, if you dig underneath, you can ask yourself, it's that freedom. It's really that agency and that freedom that comes when that happens. You kind of give up. You kind of, out of frustration or out of whatever, you're just like, you know what, never mind. I'm good. And then it comes. And then from that moment, you can decide, do I really want this? It's here. And if you want it, invite it into your life. And if you don't, just say no, thank you, right? But imagine the freedom of that. Imagine the agency you have when you're able to do that. And so what I want to say to you is, if you're at a really frustrating point in your manifestation, consider easing back, taking a break. Now, if the thought of that, like when you've been listening to this, seizes you up with fear, and you're like, absolutely not, then it's not time for you to take a break. Okay? Then you haven't reached the point where you know that you're good. So you need to keep going, even if you are frustrated. If when you hear take a break, or maybe give up for a little bit, or give up totally, if you hear that and you have a lot of fear, you have a lot of anxiety, or you're really upset, or you've turned off the podcast, you haven't made it to this point if you took that step. But if that is the place where you are, don't give up, right? Keep doing what you're doing, or finding something else to do, trying a new technique, trying a new method. You're not ready to give up. And ultimately, I'm not saying for anyone who absolutely wants their manifestation, I'm not saying you ever give up totally when you still have a desire for something. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, I do think you give up totally once you're kind of just over the desire. Like, I think it's fine to give up totally, right? But what I'm saying is, sometimes you reach a point and you can feel it. You feel it in your body. You feel it in your imagination of when you're just frustrated to the point of like, you know what? It's not worth it. If like getting this is this frustrating, like it's not worth it. I can get something else. I can go do something else. I am a wonderful, amazing, beautiful, loving, delightful person. And I can have so many things and do so many things with my life. I don't have to worry about this anymore. And when you reach that moment and you give up, it very often comes. It might not. You never know. You might have to start. You reflect. You get over your frustration. You're in an easy place. And maybe you go back to it. Maybe it's already come. Maybe you're on to something new. So, depending on your frustration level, maybe consider giving up temporarily. And like I said, if that seizes you up with fear, if you just are just like, no, Lovey, no, then don't do it. Keep going. So with that, may you manifest exactly what you want.